I'm about to break down the best 10 plays in all of Madden 26. And as we go through these plays, you're going to really see some of the key routes, the key concepts that are literally going to be winning hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of the Madden 26 season. The number 10 play in all of Madden 26 comes to us out of the trips tight end flex formation. In this example, we're going to be in the New Orleans Saints offensive playbook. You can find this in a lot of different playbooks, but I do believe that the best playbook to run this formation in is in the New Orleans Saints playbook, and it is to play motion Y post. This play comes equipped with literally 5 of the best routes in all of Madden 26. I'm gonna go ahead and just show you these routes. Number 1, we have a short post on our tight end. We have a stock return route on our middle trips receiver. We have a cheat motion, auto motion wheel route on our inside trips receiver. We have a stock fade on our solo or outside receiver. And then we have this kind of speed table route to our running back. Again, this has some of the best routes in the entire game. I'm going to show you how to run this play and some of my favorite variations into what makes it really, really good. First and foremost, we're going to start with just a simple setup here, and that's just going to be to slant the inside trips receiver. The reads on this play is we're going to kind of read our running back first. You always want to get the ball out quick if there's a blitz or anything like that. We then are going to look to that slant over the middle. Then we're going to work a high-low between the post and the little return route, and then that fade is kind of clearing out the vertical space for the post. So again, first read, always going to be looking for that running back route first, but then as you can see, it's going to also clear and open up space for us to be able to hit that little quick slant over the middle of the field. Now, if they're shading underneath or their user gets really aggressive, kind of defending the underneath area of the field, then we're going to look for that tight end post. As you see, it really gets into a super unique area of the field. Another thing that is really cool about this play is what it can do for you against man coverage. This play comes equipped with really, really good man beating routes. As you're going to see right here, this quick slant is going to do a really good job of beating man coverage, but take a look at that tight end. It's probably the best man beating route, in my opinion, in the entire game. It's just so daggone consistent, and it's just going to consistently get you great separation against any kind of man coverage. Now, if your opponent decides to run any kind of like cover 2 or anything like that, our second setup is one that I want you to go ahead and utilize. And what we're going to do for our second setup here is we're simply going to streak our tight end up the middle. And then what we're going to do is on this left side, we're going to run a drag route, and then we're going to have a super deep in route. That in route is going to be about 15, 20 yards. What I do is I stem it up to at least 2 times. You can stem it up 3 times if you want to, but essentially what this is we're just kind of flooding the left-hand side or the right-hand side of the field. And if they run cover 2 on us, you're going to see here that this tight end is going to do a good job of kind of clearing out that half. And then you can throw this auto motion wheel route over the top of that defender. Another thing that you can do really, really effectively in this is a amazing red zone combo. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and move the ball up to the red zone and show you what I believe to be one of the best red zone combos in all of Madden 26. What you're going to do is you're just going to slant the middle trips receiver or the inside trips receiver. You're going to flat the middle trips receiver. You're going to in route the outside trips receiver, and you're just going to essentially make a really, really simple read here. The main read, the main route you want to be hitting consistently is going, is going to be the in route on the left-hand side. And then the other big thing about this play is if they're playing any kind of cover 2, a lot of times you can kind of sneak this post in the back of the end zone into kind of a soft spot that makes it super, super difficult to defend. If they're playing any kind of man coverage, cover 0, shaded down, man coverage type of situations here, number 1, that table route is amazing against man coverage. It's kind of a speed table route, so it's going to do a really good job of just getting consistent separation. And then you have your post route. And of course, you have that little quick in route that's super, super difficult to defend. The other thing about this is you also have a return route. So if you wanted to, another thing that you could do is you could run a simple curl route on the outside. You could still run that slant, but now you have that kind of return route. You'll see that return route kind of gets in that little soft spot as well against the zone coverage. If they're running a shaded down type of cover 2 type defense, again, what we're really looking for in that situation is either this post or late in the play. You can kind of throw the slant in the back corner of the end zone against the defenders. And then if they're playing any kind of like shaded down, 2-man under style of coverage, Again, you're going to have that running back, but you're also going to have that post just working man coverage over the middle of the field. Overall, this play just gives you a lot of answers against both man and zone. And if you want another little red zone play that I really like, it's utilizing this cheat motion, especially on a cover 2 hard flat. What'll happen is this little cheat motion will kind of get into a unique area of the field, and then you have that high-low read. I love to high point this post into that back corner of the end zone where only your receiver can catch it. Bottom line is motion Y post. It just gives you a ton of answers against literally every single defense that you could think of. If you've enjoyed how I've been breaking these concepts down and teaching, I would encourage you to check out our school community. It's only $10 to join, and it's going to get you access to all of my full offensive and defensive schemes for both Madden and for College Football 26. So if you're looking to take your game to the next level, join our school community at the link in the description down below. Coming in at number 9 on our top 10 plays list here is the Y off trips close formation. I'm going to be showing this out of the Chargers playbook. It is in some other playbooks, but I do believe that Chargers is the best. And the play we're going to be using is the play Y option wheel. What makes the play Y option wheel extremely effective is in the simplicity of the play. This is one of the best plays in all of Madden 26 because you basically don't need to make any adjustments to it. You basically just make one hot route and go, or 2 hot routes and go, and this becomes automatically just one of the best plays in the entire game. All you have to do to make this play really good is you're just going to put your tight end here on a corner route, and you're basically just going to make a read. You're always going to take a look at that flat and see if you can hit that quick flat there to the outside. But essentially you have a high-low read over there on that right-hand side. And so if they're playing any kind of cover 3 or cover 4 hard flat, you see how there's this little pocket in which we can throw this tight end route in to a really unique spot. It's going to make them have to kind of cover 2 over here on the right side, or just switch stick in general. And you see there that tight end corner just gets into a really nice area of the field to be able to attack the defense. The other thing that makes this play really good is when they start to shade underneath or do anything like that, the running back wheel route is going to open up kind of these unique areas of the field to be able to hit this backside, kind of short post. I'll show that one more time here, but this short post is really good. The short post can be thrown in a lot of different spots across the field. It can be thrown in the middle of the field. It can be thrown in the deep sideline of the field as well. And for example, another variation of the play would be to just put the tight end on a zig. If they're not shading down their yellows, those yellow zones will get manipulated by that tight end zig every single time. It's a very simple. It's just one hot route and go, but it forces them to put those hooks on 5, forces them to have to shade underneath. And then when they start to shade underneath consistently, when they start to kind of play a little bit over aggressive, what you'll see here is that little short post. It just kind of gets all the way across the field, and you can just throw this into really unique areas of the field to be able to break down coverage. Now, what's also really good about this combination and just about this play in general is this running back little wheel route. It's a great quick throw. It's a little bit different than a standard wheel route. It's going to get a little bit better separation. There's some other setups that we can do off this. For example, we could run a little flat route to McConkey here, motion him across, and then we have a little return route here. So we have a little high-low read over the middle. But then we have this kind of seam wheel. You see how it kind of gets into that soft spot of the defense. Very effective for just breaking down coverages as a whole. Another setup I love out of this play is just a streak and a drag. Again, just kind of really high-lowing the middle defender. What's really cool in this game that you could do is you can actually stem this option route up, and you can turn this into a streak. So I'm just going to stem this option route all the way up. As you see there, it's going to turn it into a streak, and then I'm just going to drag my slot receiver, and you see how we can kind of, again, just create a very simple high-low read in the middle of the field. This will be a little bit better if they try to switch stick over there on the right-hand side. You're going to see that streak will clear out really well. The drag route will kind of hold the user, and then we're going to be able to throw that short post into a really unique area of the field. Now, if they play you in any kind of man coverage really whatsoever, your tight end is going to be the answer. The tight end is the best kind of threat in this formation. And you just see against man coverage, he normally is going to do a really good job of being able to get open over there to the sideline. The other thing that's really easy about this play is when they start to kind of overcommit to the tight ends. When they start to overcommit to the tight end, then what you're going to see here is that's going to leave the whole middle of the field open, and that's where we're going to be able to just kind of pepper them with this short post. It's one of the best man-beating routes in the entire game, and if they don't have a user on that, if they don't have safety help, this thing, it just can crucify man coverage. I mean, just does a really, really good job of being able to consistently attack man coverage. One of the other little variations of the play, if you wanted a little bit more of a hot routable setup here, one of the things I like to do is just a simple streak here on the tight end or just stemming him up. And then I'm going to drag this outside receiver like this. And you see that this will just give it a little bit more time to kind of time together over the middle of the field. Another little setup that I like that I think is really good if you ever want to block your running back is to drag the tight end and return route this outside receiver so it looks just like this. I think just a real simple setup, but again, it just kind of drives home some more how good the high-low is against zone coverage within this formation. As far as cover two here, this formation did get a little bit worse in terms of beating cover two over the top, but you are still able to easily beat it with that post route over the top of the defender. But all in all, Y option wheel is still a really good play, not only because it's a good play, but also because the setup itself is so simple and it can be quick snapped against pretty much any coverage in the game. Number 8 on our list of top 10 passing plays in Madden 26 is the play flood. This comes to us out of the bunch strong offset formation. Can be found in a lot of playbooks. Here I am in the Chargers offensive playbook. I want to make sure I get a better tight end in here. They actually, their tackle is their best tight end. If they had one weakness, it's that their tight ends are a little interesting. But we're going to go ahead and show this play, bunch strong offset flood. And here's what makes it good. So this play is really good for a couple reasons. Number one, you'll see if I put the tight end on a corner route, it's a sharp corner, it's a shorter corner, but this has a deeper corner route. So what makes it good is that this corner route, not only can you not hot route it, but also this corner route is going to do a good job of being able to attack any kind of cover 3 cloud or cover 2 that they might do to the bunch side. So you see that this deeper corner, he will just run over the top of the cloud and he's going to get into a really, really nice area of the field. Super, super high level combination and does a good job of attacking, like I said, cover 3 or cover 2 or cover 3. Now, if your opponent runs cover 3 or cover 4, there's a lot of other things that this play can do that is good for not just this combo, but this combo does do a really good job against that. You'll see you can kind of throw it almost back shoulder-like against a cover 3 defense, and you're going to be in a pretty good spot. And then cover 4, I actually think cover 4 drop would defend this the best, but because you have this route to McConkey that's going to kind of pull the flat defender, you can throw this before he gets to the quarter, and you see how we can kind of put the ball in a really, really interesting spot against the cover 4. Now, the other thing that's really nice about this is if we wait on this route, eventually this route will get the separation we want it to get against a cover 4. As you'll see, you can kind of throw this back shoulder because that fade route, late in the play, is going to pull the outside quarter to him. This also makes it good because what happens in this game is obviously with switch stick being a thing, this is a little more subtle than an actual fade. And so what could potentially happen is they could potentially switch stick onto the outside flat defender, and then because this is still kind of fading to the sideline, there's this little window to throw up into the outside against the cover 4 defender. There's some other ways that we can actually do it later. We'll show you. But in general, that's just something to kind of look for is like a late switch stick. One of the other setups that I'll do from time to time is this one. I'll do a post route. I'll stem that post route up twice. I'll drag the backside receiver, and it kind of looks like this. The reason I like this one is because, again, if we ever get in that situation, this post does a decent job of pulling this inside quarter to the middle just for a step. And then there's this big void to throw this to the outside. Again, that's in the scenario that they switch stick to the outside quarter to defend a corner route, which is pretty common in this year's game. The other thing that this does for us is, let's say, that you're playing a little bit more cover 3 type of coverage. A lot of ways to play cover 3 in this game. Let's say they were doing something like this, and then they like switch stick to go guard the tight end. Then what this secondary combo does is by stemming this post up twice, dragging this backside receiver, you give yourself an opportunity for a potential 1-play touchdown against cover 3. You see that post kind of cross the face of the safety and get right over the top of that outside third defender and give us a nice answer for whenever they're cover 3ing kind of that back side of the formation, that solo side. So again, just a very, decent way to attack the coverage. Another thing that's really cool is if you're ever running short side bunch, what you can do with this play, the deep halves kind of put themselves in a really interesting spot here. But essentially, you could do kind of a double streak combination like this, and this fade can do a decent job of being a one-on-one potential opportunity there to the left side. The other thing about this is, let's say that they're running cover two. Another variation of the play that makes a lot of sense. Stem the tight end down, streak the slot receiver. Let me actually fix that. We're going to stem the tight end. You could stem the tight end before flipping the play too, but you do want to run this to the short side. Slot fade the outside guy, and then you're going to streak your slot. And what this does is that slot fade is going to do a good job of kind of clearing that cover two and potentially being a one-play touchdown for you. So just a lot of answers in terms of how this play does against man zone, and a lot of versatility within this play, a lot of different things you can do. I mean, even as simple as something like this, where we're running almost like a bench pivot type combination, this is still really, really good in this year's game because you got that backside in route. That backside in route does such a good job of being able to get separation. Kind of another hidden setup would be something like this, straight up just recreating smash return out of this. Just gives you answers against literally every coverage in the game. And that's all you can ask for in a good bunny play, something that literally has answers against every single play, every single defense in this game. Now, if you ever get any kind of like man coverage or anything like that, a lot of times this corner route will get a little bit, just enough outside leverage, especially if he's a little bit faster, he's going to do a little bit better of a job. And then if you ever wanted to, feel free to put a short corner here. What I like is that it's very quick snappable. So if you ever want to quick snap this play, it's very much so designed to be a quick snap setup, and it just gets the ball out quick, and it's a play that just works every single year. Number 7 on our list is out of the formation doubles flex swap close. It's in a lot of playbooks. I'm going to be breaking it down here out of the Jets or Jags playbook. And the play that you're going to be wanting to look for here is the play PA snag in those playbooks. So in terms of the best way to run PA snag in Madden is you want to run this play with your tight end here to the short side of the field. And then also what you want to do is in your coach adjustments, you want to set your pass protection to empty or base. So in the play call screen, as you can see here, I'm going to put my coach adjustments and I'm going to put my auto pass protection to empty, as I think it is the best one in this game. And when I come out in the play, you're going to see now this blocking is proper and it's going to be able to pick up the majority of pressures. Now what's cool about PA snag is there are so many different combinations that you can run. It is a play action play. If you guys didn't know, play action blocking is probably the best blocking in this game. It's really been the better blocking every single year, pretty much. Play action plays just do a really good job of picking up a variety of blitzes. Now, very basic setup here. What we're going to do is we're just going to drag the slot receiver. We're going to corner out the tight end. We're going to slot fade our little outside receiver here, and then we're going to table route the running back. So this is what it looks like. And what makes this play really, really good here, if you want to stem the tight end up one, you can. But what I think makes it really good is it's just a really, really nice combination of high-low reads that are going to give you answers against literally every single coverage in this game. If they play cover 4, you're going to be looking for this tight end. If they play cover 4, the other thing that you have here is this little drag. What that drag is going to do, and the importance of throwing that drag consistently, is that drag is going to force your opponent to shade down in their cover 4, shade down in their cover 3, get those yellow zones on 5 to be able to stop a drag. And so then that's going to open up this corner route even more to your tight end. Let me show you that one more time. Got kind of a poor throw there from Danny Dimes, who's having a great season, by the way. But you're going to see here on the cut, you see how he's just going to get into a nice spot, and we're going to be able to hit him. So what typically is going to happen in terms of how most people are going to approach playing this is they're going to switch stick the corner out, because that is obviously one of your main targets on this play. So if they do switch stick the corner route, what you want to progress to is that post route. It's that same type of short post that just does a really good job of being able to be consistent against both man and zone coverage. You're just going to have all kinds of windows to consistently be able to attack the middle of the field here. Another setup that I really like running is a streak to the tight end, a corner route to the outside receiver here, but I'm going to stem it down 1, and then I'm going to motion the running back out. You can either put him on the flat and motion him out, or put him on an out route. The reason that I would call something like this is if they're ever running any kind of cover 2, this is a really, really good route combo, because this out route is going to hold the cloud, and then you'll see that this corner route is going to do a really good job of kind of getting in that soft spot of that cover 2 coverage to be able to give us, wide open ways to attack the defense. The other thing about PA snag that I think makes it really, really good is if your opponent is ever running any kind of cover 3 cloud, you have the potential to make them pay. Typically cover 3 cloud is going to leave the seam directly open. And so that's where we could go to setups like this, where we actually are just going to leave a streak on this outside guy, and it looks something like this. But what happens is that corner route pulls the third, that slot seam streak is going to get wide open against that cover 3 coverage, and then the middle third is going to get held by the backside player. Another variation of this that's really good out of this formation would be to just simply take the tight end, put him on a streak. You could do this with the slot receiver here or the outside receiver, a corner route, or what you could also do is a slot fade. What's nice is you can smart route the slot fade and then stem him down one just like this. And it kind of creates a kind of a makeshift corner route, but it also makes this a super viable throw in kind of that seam streak area of the field. As long as he doesn't get pressed or rerouted, it's normally a little bit more open than it was right there. Typically, most people, safeties are on close and pinch. The yellows would be shaded down in this scenario because they have to stop the drag. And then if they ever, kind of fall asleep at the wheel, then you'll see that this tight end route can kind of get thrown in a really unique spot. And it's just a very, very difficult route to be able to stop. The other thing I think makes this play really, really good is that it's got great capabilities of beating man coverage. So if you ever struggle against man coverage, it's a really good play to run to beat man coverage. What I like to do is drag the tight end, streak the slot or the outside receiver here on the right, and then flat the running back. And against man coverage, both your slant and your post are going to give you, basically wide open receiving targets. You're going to be able to hit really either one of those routes against man coverage. And so what happens a lot of times is the user will run to go guard the post, but because you have that running back on the flat there, you can just throw this slant route. Danny Dimes struggle with his accuracy a little bit here, but normally, as I said, this little these underneath combos are going to be really good. Another combo that I really like here would be something like this right here. Again, a little bit unique of a play, but I think really, really good. Got 2 clear out streaks. You have a running back Texas, and we know how good the running back Texas is at being able to get, man-to-man separation. Shout out to practice mode. Shout out to the sheds as they are just going crazy here. But another one that I really like against a little bit more for zone, but something like this right here, super good combination. And you're going to see that, the post is what makes this so good. It's just so dang consistent at beating both man coverage and zone coverage. They have to use that, and then it literally opens up everything else. Number 6 on our list is the bunch tight end. Now, this is specific to bunch tight ends that have this specific play. This is in the Jets playbook, but it's in others as well. This is the RPO alert bubble. This play alone makes the bunch tight end formation literally like one of the best mini schemes to add in the game. Now, what you might not know is if you just call this RPO as is, you're going to be kind of underwhelmed because you're going to see here, like, it's a good RPO, but there's nothing really like special about it. Like, it gets good blocking against zone coverage, but basically all you have to do to stop this is essentially play man coverage. So I'm just going to go to cover 2 man, and you're going to see that for the most part, right, he'll get out there, he'll play it, and the RPO is relatively defended, right? If they man it up, it's one of the easiest tricks of the trade every year. Is all you got to do is just man up the RPO, and then it's kind of hard to run it, right? Well, with this one there is kind of a trick to it. Now, in order to show you this trick, I actually have to come out in another formation. So I'm going to go back into the play call menu. I'm going to come out in the play at a bunch X nasty, and then I'm going to audible into it. We'll show you kind of something cool. So as you see right here, I'm back in my play call menu here, and I'm just going to make sure that the RPO alert bubble is in my audibles, and I'm going to come out in any play out of the bunch X nasty, because I know when I come out in the bunch X nasty, when I come out with the bunch to the short side of the field, when I audible to bunch tight end, that bunch is going to essentially flip. So it's a way to flip bunch without actually flipping bunch. I'm going to come out in spacing switch, literally a true top 5 play in this game. Such a good play. And what you're going to see here is I'm going to audible to the RPO alert bubble. Now, this is what makes this play special, is when I audible to the play, I am going to immediately put that circle receiver on a flat route. And you see here that I can change his route. It's going to change every single thing about this play. Now, how I'm going to show you that is I'm going to go back to the man coverage. And what you're going to see here is when I go to RPO alert bubble, all of a sudden this bubble screen that was able to be defended in man now is lethal, is pretty lethal against man coverage. Let me actually go to a cover like something you would actually see here. But effectively, this just makes this an amazing, amazing play. I like to ID the slot, but basically you see here, we get great blocking. And then this thing is just a guaranteed 5-10 yards. It's very difficult to stop this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to cover 4 hard flat. I'm going to flip that. So you're going to see here, this is on a hard flat. And again, if you want to like ID, the slot or whatever you want to do, be my guest. But what you'll see here is this thing is just lethal. It literally changes everything, in my opinion, about kind of it turns this into an actual kind of run pass option. Really, really good. Also against cover two. And again, all I'm doing is I'm audibling this from the bunch tight information itself, and you're going to see that this thing is just money. That was a cover two, right? Against a cover two, we're able to basically just attack it. There's really only a couple defenses in the game that are even able to defend this. And it's honestly ridiculously difficult for you to defend this play with switch stick, because oftentimes your switch stick guy is just going to get blocked. If you want to, you can untarget this D end, gives you even better blocking, as you see right there. And yeah, I mean, this thing is just money. They can't really guard it in man. They can't really guard it in zone. Like, it's just open. Let me show you something really, really cool here. I'm going to go to 2-man under, and then I'm going to set this up, and I'm just going to flip this. When I do that, you're going to see that you get this kind of man alignment look, which looks really, really good. However, this little flat, a lot of times you see how he kind of zooms past that guy. Could have potentially high pointed that, but this is just a really, really, really good play. It's hard to guard it. It's hard to guard it in man. It's hard to guard it in zone. It's just one of those money plays, and it just makes this playbook as a whole one of the better playbooks in the entire game. Now, let me just try to kind of throw this a little better and get a little high point. And I played it okay, but as you see, they're going to have to do very specific things to guard this. This does a really good job against cover zero. Even if the player's actually aligned properly here, you're going to see that against cover zero, any kind of cover zero, you're going to be in a pretty good spot. As you see right there, you break that tackle, that's going to be a touchdown. So it just takes the RPO bubble out of the bunch tight end to a whole nother level, because you can audible to it. And you could do this hot route. It really fits in with the overarching meta of coming out of Bunch X Nasty and audibling around. But in general, I think this is a really ridiculously good way to run RPOs in Madden 26. Number 5 on our list comes from the Bunch X Nasty. This is in the Jets playbook. It's also in the Jags playbook. It's in a lot of playbooks, okay? Bunch X Nasty is clearly one of the best offenses in the game. And one of the best plays from the Bunch X Nasty is actually this play, Y flat goal line. This play, Y flat goal line, is really unique because it has a speed corner on the outside bunch receiver. I'm going to show you why that is so good right here. So EA basically nerfed the short corners, the stem down corners, and the speed burst you could get. However, with this play, it's actually kind of like a stock speed corner. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start out with just a basic cover two. You would think cover two would guard this, but it's not going to. And the way I like to set it up is just streaking this slot receiver and then dragging my tight end. But really, this is the main route. This is the route you want to look at. Take a look at this corner route. You're going to see he's going to run super sharp, and he's just going to beat a cloud flat every single time. So what you can do with this, another combo that I really like, is to slot fade this guy, smart route him. We could stem him down a couple times, and then you could do like a streak and then a backside return route. But against like a curl flat or anything like that, you're going to want to check it down backside to your other guy over here. But this corner route is just really unique. Now, what a lot of people are going to do is they are going to say, okay, what I'm going to do to take that away is I'm going to run a hard flat, and I'm going to try to take that away. Well, what you're going to see is that with this slot fade, there's this little pocket where you can throw it before he gets to the outside quarter defenders, which makes it, I think, just one of the better routes in the game. Another way you could do it is you could just run a double corner setup, something like this. And what happens a lot against cover 4 is you can throw this. It was actually a ridiculously bad throw by Daniel Jones. We'll show that one more time here. But what you can do is the hard flat and the purple zone, they'll basically get pulled out by that. And then your other corner route should get open in a little pocket right here. I'm just going to not freeform it. We'll see if we can. Okay, we can't catch the ball. That's awesome. Shout out to the Colts. EA has been just giving the Colts a disservice. See if we can hit this one more time here. Just pass lead there. You just want to click on, catch it. Okay. Game's not going to let us catch it. No problem. I'll show you another setup. So another setup you can do is a little zig on the tight end, and then you can do really whatever you want with this slot receiver. But what this will do is you'll see that zig will get open because that corner route runs so fast that it basically pulls the guy out. Another thing that's really cool about this is your speed corner does a good job against any kind of off coverage man coverage. So what you'll see here is off coverage man. He gets kind of a speed burst on him, and then you're going to be able to throw it right to the sideline. Just a nice little yard gainer. This route is super, super good. You want to go back to that slot fade combination. I do think that's something that we want to look at here, just show you against like cover 4. We're just going to throw it passively down. See, we just cannot catch that ball like we want it to, unfortunately. But however, what you can also do with this is why a double corner is really good. So if they're ever running a cover 3 cloud or anything like that, this is where using 2 corners is really, really advantageous, because what you're going to see is that deeper corner will get into a really nice spot against any kind of cover 2 hard flat or anything like that. You have that going for you. Most people are going to be in cover 4 or cover 3, but this basically forces you into that. And then there's all kinds of stuff that we can do underneath to basically just manipulate the backside, whether it's just a simple post and return route. One of my favorite ones is just literally very simple, but it's this right here. And then I'll just run like a little return route, and I'll run my running back on an in route. Kind of super underrated combination. That running back gets in a really soft spot of the defense, and you're just able to attack them in that way. Another thing that you have on this play that is worth mentioning is you do have this really unique post route to the isolation receiver here on the left. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a zig and we're going to run a zag, kind of like a bench pivot. And you'll see that this post, he kind of gives a little shimmy, and then he gives that inside position where we can just, possession catch that. Hopefully we actually catch the ball in game, as this play just gives you, like I said, a lot of answers against a lot of different coverages, a lot of different ways to run it. But ultimately, there you see a little bit better separation. That little short post does a really good job of just being able to get open. And I just love this Y flat go in play. I think it's just so darn good. And I think it's one of the best plays in the game. Now, if they're hard flatting on this outside here, you'll see that eventually he'll kind of run over the top of hard flat, and you can throw that. Really, a curl flat, to me, seems like the best way for them to defend that. But obviously, that's going to leave open a lot of other things as well. It's why I like to run the running back underneath, because if they're curl flatting, this running back in route is just going to be wide open every single time on the backside. In the trips tight end formation, they have an absolute money play, and it is called China Y post. This is an amazing play in this game, and here's some of the ways that I like to run it. So what we're going to do here is we are first and foremost just real simple. What makes this play really good? This play is really good because it has a cross flat route to the running back, also known as the slide route. It also has a really cool route to the tight end. So I'm going to show you some use cases for this. Number one of the most popular defenses that people like to run against trips tight end is man-to-man coverage, and this play torches it. All you need to do to torch man coverage from this play is you're going to stem down the corner route down 1. You're going to drag the middle trips receiver, and you're going to basically just call hike. What you're going to see is that this tight end post is really a unique route that does a great job of being able to consistently beat and manipulate man-to-man coverage. Another thing that makes this really good is you have the capability here of this little running back route. This running back little slide route right here is very effective against man coverage. What you're going to see is I'm not going to freeform this. I'm just going to pass lead it to the left, and he's going to do just a great job of getting almost like a speed burst, and does a great job against man. Now, another use case of this play and another route that is really good against man is the stem down corner. Basically, what you're going to do is you're just going to stem this corner down 1. I'm going to reset my pass pro because I bumped it. And what typically happens with this play is that this corner route will do a good job of being able to get separation to the outside. You'll see here, as long as he doesn't get bumped, he's going to get a little separation there to the outside. Didn't get quite enough separation that time. It does depend a little bit on, kind of if he gets chipped, or linebacker, all those little factors. They basically have to have a middle third defender here to be able to take the tight end, and then they're themselves going to typically guard the running back. And so then that's going to leave this corner route isolated and potential for you to hit it against man coverage. As you see here, he kind of got that little separation we were looking for, and he's going to do a good job of forcing them to have safety help over the top. So you have a great play that does a good job at beating man, but does a good job of beating zone as well. What makes this play really good against zone coverage is if they're not playing any kind of hard flat or shaded down yellow, this little running back slide route is going to do a good job of just getting open consistently for easy yardage. There are some better setups against zone than what we're showing you here, but this little double in route does a good job. You're going to see that the yellow zone, if they're not shading their yellow zones underneath, the yellow zone will basically be vulnerable to giving up this little in route. You see the corner kind of pulls the yellow zone back, and then that guy gets open over the middle of the field. Another thing that's really cool about this combination specifically is against like a cover two type of coverage. Show you kind of what this play does against cover two kind of uniquely. Number one, you can always check it down to the running back. Number two, this mid-read defender is going to do a good job of guarding the tight end, but what they're not going to do a good job of is leaving the underneath open here. So I'll show you this one more time, and what you're going to see is this drag route over the middle. Does a really good job when they're putting a mid-read on the field. Now, this isn't the only setup from this play that I like to run. There's a couple of other ones, but really the main one that I want to make sure you walk away with from this is this one. What we're going to do is we're going to put the tight end on a deep crosser. We're going to put the inside trips receiver on a slant. We're going to put the middle trips receiver on a return route, and we're going to put a fade on the outside. So this creates a high-low read over the middle of the field between the crosser and the return route. You're going to see that crosser just do a really good job of being able to get over the top if they're hard flatting. If they're not hard flatting for whatever reason, or they're not shading underneath, then you're going to see that this little running back slide route pulls the zones out, and you can hit that little return route in that soft spot. As far as how does this play against man coverage, it's really, really good against man coverage. Number one, because if they're not hard flatting, this running back slide route, as you see right there, especially against like a cover zero blitz or something like that, it's just going to do a great job of out leveraging the man coverage defender. And then if they are playing any kind of like cover two man or just like a more straightforward man coverage, a lot of times this slant is going to do a really, really good job of being able to beat the man coverage defender to the inside. Now, the other thing about this play that I like to do from time to time is, utilizing, kind of a little bit of a different deal here. We're going to do a streak. We're going to do a running back slide route, and then we're going to do a, kind of like deep fade or deep comeback, however you do it. So look, something, basically like this, for example, and you're going to really be utilizing this running back slide route. When you pair this running back slide route with a flat, the running back slide route just gets open in this little soft spot against the coverage. There are literally an unlimited amount of ways to run this play right here. This is another one of my favorite setups, as it's just going to create a high-low on the left sideline. We're looking for this corner route, as you see right there, gets open in a nice little spot. Another really good one is to do stemmed up curls with this. So if you wanted to do, heck, just do 3 curls with a running back slide route. Super wild combo, but really, really good in this year's game. The bottom line is you need to be using plays that have this specific route here to the running back. It's so darn good. It's really, really good. It's specifically against any kind of man or zone coverage. It's just really hard for them to be able to consistently slow this running back down. And then that is literally going to open up your entire offense from there. The number 3 play on our list comes from the Y off trio close formation, and it is going to be the motion PA cross switch. The reason I picked this play is because this play has a ton of versatility. There's so many things that you can do with it. People are running literally entire offenses from this play. Now, what you want to do is in your auto pass protection here in your coach adjustments, you want to set this to either base or empty. I prefer empty, but you can, do your preference there. But motion PA cross switch, this play is really good, and it comes from the Wild Trio Close. Now, again, what's really cool about this play, it's in a lot of playbooks, but what's really, really cool about this play is it has this auto motion, it has play action blocking. Those are kind of 2 things that we want. And then what is really neat is you can actually stem this auto motion receiver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stem him up by hitting L1 on the hot route menu, stem him all the way up. And what you're going to see now is we've turned this into a streak that we're going to be able to really pop cover 2 on. And then what we'll do on the left side here is we'll just streak the solo receiver, we'll post the tight end, we'll drag the slot, and then we will streak the running backs. This is what the route combo looks like. It's a very high-low route combination. You have a high-low between the post and the drag. Your running back's kind of a check-down read, and then you have these 2 seam streaks clearing everything out. If they run a cover 2 on this left-hand side, what you're going to see is the sheet motion is going to just be money. It's going to get in a great area of the field. It's going to be able to just pop the cover 2 coverage. Now, what's also cool is let's say they try to cover three cloud that side. A lot of people like to do cover three cloud in this game. So if they try to cover three cloud that side, what's going to happen here is you're going to see that this seam streak is going to get in a nice area of the field for you to be able to attack that cover three. You have this backside post that can kind of hold the third, and then this auto motion is going to pull the safety. So you're going to see here that basically this little seam streak should be wide open, kind of passing up into the inside, and you see it kind of splits that cover three cloud in a nice little spot right there. And then let's say they run like cover three the other direction. So let's say they run like a cover three cloud over the top of the bunch side. For example, something like this here. What you're going to see is this cover three is going to be vulnerable to the quick throw of this auto motion, cheat motion wheel or auto motion streak or however you want to call it. And the reason being is because we're running this from the wide side of the field to the short side. When you're running a wide trio, you always want to be running your trio side to the wide side of the field. But what you're going to see here is, this cover three, the third will get pulled to the inside, and then I can throw this to the outside. A lot of times that could just be absolute money against the defense. Gives us a lot of answers for ways that they like to defend us. Now, as far as like the backside high-low, let's say you got like a cover four drop or something like that. Cover four do a decent job at defending, kind of the main concept here with the two streaks on the left side. However, this cover four is going to do a pretty bad job of defending the backside. Reason being is because we have these two clear out streaks. So if they switch it onto either inside quarter or outside quarter, you can hit them with a touchdown to either of the streaks. And then if they don't switch tick to those players, then that tight end is obviously going to get wide open. And then let's say that they take their user out of the play and they decide, I want to take my user and basically try to go manually defend the tight end. That's where this backside drag is going to be a great answer for your offense. We'll show this real quick here. And what you'll see is these yellow zones will kind of drift back, user kind of drifts back, and then you can kind of hit this drag underneath as a simple check down. And then if they just vacate the middle of the field entirely, right? Let's say, again, a lot of different reasons for that. What typically it would mean would be some type of cover three cloud like this. Maybe they quarter this outside guy because they know that'll defend the cheat motion better. But effectively what they'll do is they'll normally shade those hook zones down, and then the user is kind of responsible for the tight end. So it looks something like this right here. And what you'll see is these yellow zones will basically give up this running back streak. So because the yellow zones are shaded underneath, then the running back streak is going to kind of clear over the top. If they're not shaded underneath, you could throw the running back streak really early in the play. But anyway, this is just a really nice little combination here. You see, if we had a little bit more time in the pocket, we'll show that one more time. And we'll try to do a little better job here of getting this play off. But it's effectively something like what you see here. Cover three cloud, their user is going to have to go to the tight end. I'm not going to stem up the streak just because it takes a little bit too much time here. Actually, I guess I will. But basically here, what you'll see is once the running back clears the yellow zones, it's going to be just fine for you. So you see how it kind of clears those yellow zones, and then that streak on the left pulls the third back. It just makes this a true money play. There's so many other ways to run money plays from this specific play and formation itself, right? I mean, just so many other things that you can do. We literally have an entire ebook devoted to teaching just this formation. I mean, this formation just gives you so many answers against so many different defenses. There's so many ways to run the offense, but I believe this has to be on your list of at least the top 5 plays in Madden 26. Number 2 on our list comes out of the Bunch X Nazi. This is in a ton of playbooks this year. This one is in the Jags or the Jets. I know for sure, as I think those are 2 of the best. Lions, I think, has it as well. But the play that we're going to be taking a look at number 2 on our list is the play Spacing Switch. Spacing Switch, ironically, it doesn't look like much of a good play, but it's actually an amazing play. I'm going to explain why. So what makes this play so good is it has the best running back flat route in the game. This running back flat route is very unique. It's not like the hot routed flat route. As you see, the hot routed flat route, it takes significantly longer to cut, and it's going to run significantly slower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this against one of the best ways to play defense in this game, which is to scissor the solo side. So the way that they play an advanced player, they would do something like this. They would scissor on this left-hand side, and then they would, kind of adjust from there. Now, I'm not going to show you the rest of the combo. I'm just going to show you the table route, and then we'll talk about some combos you can do with this. But effectively, what's going to happen is you'll literally see that he will actually beat the man coverage defender, and then if you get that one cut right there, you could turn this up for a ton of yardage. So this flat route just automatically is one of the best routes in the game. If you play 2-man under and they man this up with a linebacker, you're going to see this thing's going to always win. And then you get that cool cut right there. And you just see, I mean, this thing is a beast of a flat route. It's very difficult to guard, and it just does a great job. It attacks cloud flats. It attacks curl flats very, very well. If they cloud or curl flat, this is going to be open. As you see right there, it's an automatic 10 yards. If I run a curl flat on the left side, you're going to see it's an automatic 10 yards, right? It's just the best flat route in the game. The bottom line is this and the running back slide route, those two routes are must-have routes in your offense. It's why so many pros are running the Bunch X Nasty. So now we're going to put a combo to this and show you some different ways in which you can utilize this. It's essentially just building around this running back flat route. One of the easiest combos that you can do is just a simple return route on the ISO receiver and just snap the ball. And what you're going to see is, again, if they're not hard flatting, that's going to be wide open. Now, if they are hard flatting here, then what you're going to have is you're going to have a lot of stuff open underneath your spacing switch, just a quick little baby dot over the middle of the field, just be able to hit those pockets. And again, what's your answer against man coverage with this play? Your answer against man coverage is your running back table route. You're going to throw that running back table route until the cows come home. I mean, it's just a really, really good route. Now, let's talk about some other combos that I like from this. Really the one I like the most is actually a smash return combo because it's really, really good against man coverage. What you're going to ultimately start to see is they're going to man up this guy and they're going to hard flat like this. Like, that's really the best way to stop spacing switch, is to hard flat the outside corner. And so there's some things we can do around it. The first one is this one right here. We're just going to put an in route on the ISO receiver. We're going to stem him up 2 times, so it's a little deeper of an in route. We're going to slant the tight end, streak the outside or the slot receiver, and we're going to return around the outside bunch receiver. So as you see here, I mean, this literally looks exactly like smash return, but it's smash return with a super table route that's now an actual threat over here. So what you see is against man coverage, that tight end route just does such a good job of being able to consistently beat man coverage. But what's also nice is they have to hard flat to stop the running back, right? So because they have to hard flat to stop the running back, this in route, and you could stem this in route up 3 times if you wanted to. So I'll do it that time, 1, 2, 3, and you'll see it's even deeper. What it does is it'll clear out. You'll see it'll clear out the quarter, and then if my slant ever gets across the field, you see that slant can kind of get into a soft spot because they're hard flatting every single time. Now, if they're not shading down their yellows on this left hand or on the right hand side here, you're going to see that this return route has just been money all year long of being able to just hit this in a pocket that's very, very difficult for them to defend. And then if they do shade down their yellows over here, you're going to see that this deep in route is going to get over the top of the yellows. So it just gives you a lot of answers in one play. That in route got ridiculously bumped, but still got wide open there, and it's just a great route. Now I want to show you one other really, really cool variation of this play. This one is to streak the slot receiver, post the tight end, and in route the outside bunch receiver, and then you're going to corner route this solo receiver, but you're going to stem him down 1 time. So what makes this such a good combo is, as I was saying, they're going to eventually start doing things like this where they hard flat, and then they have this guy manned up over here. And then they're going to obviously, have zones around that. So they might have like a curl flat over here. This will be the user. And then, this guy's kind of a free player, but he might just be manned up to the running back in general. So anywho, you see it look like something like this would be like a standard way to play it. But what's nice about this is this corner route can beat that man coverage. So you'll see here that cut. A lot of times he'll be able to win. For some reason, he didn't right there. But a lot of times that man coverage defender will not be able to defend the route. So I'll show it one more time here, and then if that doesn't work, we'll show you the rest of the reads on the play, because we do have other answers. But they just have to, the bottom line with this play and why I think it's so good is they just have to devote so many resources to stopping this table route, and it really leaves everything else open for you. So that is like the biggest deal with this. All right, I have to complete this corner route because this is going to drive me crazy if we can't complete this corner route here, because it is one of the best corner routes, best ways to run a corner route in this game. All right, so we'll show it like this. And let's do the corner route. And I'll talk about the right side in just a minute. But basically here you see a lot of times you can just bend this all the way over, and he caught it. So I'm going to call that a completion. I don't know why it just randomly stopped working, but anyway, that corner out is normally really good if they do that man up trick. If it's not open, you don't have to throw it. You can go to other stuff. This play has a lot of stuff open on it actually, and you'll see right here. So like if they run the hard flats like this, you have a lot of stuff open on the back end of this. Your in route and your post are both open. It basically just comes down to reading the user here, right? Who do they user? Do they user the post? Do they user the in route? That's what we want to hit. And shout out to Jaden Daniels shout out to Zach Ertz, because Jaden Daniels threw that perfectly, but Zach Ertz just decided he didn't want to catch the ball. So we'll try it one more time here. The other thing you can do with this play that I really like doing is you could curl the slot receiver. So you could do a curl route, stem him up like twice. So they're going to think it's a streak, and they'll come off the route entirely, and then he'll just snap off, and it's just going to be a man-beating route. If we could catch the ball, I mean, the Commanders' problem has always been the receivers just don't catch the ball, I guess. And then you also have this in route over on the side, and you'll see it looks, like a little simple backside in route that you can hit. If you want to make that a drag, if you want to make that a return route, be my guest. But that's another little way that I like to run this play. One other one while we're here, I'll use this speed out. I'll do a tight end drag. I'll do a zig like this, and then we want to get super horizontal, right? You can get super horizontal with this play, hit that zig right in that nice little soft spot of the zone. And then you also have, your tight end drag, which you can hit in the soft spot of the zone. What this will do is this forces them to not only put their hooks on 5, but also to shade underneath. And so, I mean, they'd literally have to, shade down in a cover 4 to even have a chance at stopping this play. And a lot of times it's still going to be open. You'll just see here that this deep in route gets right over the top of the yellows. I don't know why we're getting bumped out of this world. I think it just means that the Bills are just a physical football team. I think that's what that means. But for some reason, we're just getting bumped on every play. But you see right there, that throw is money. This is the number 1 play in all of Madden 26, and it comes to us out of the Bunch X Nasty. You can run this out of almost all of the Bunch X Nasties have this play. It's so good. I know for sure it's in Jets and Jags and Lions and Steelers, which in my opinion are the best, and Chargers. I know it's in that one too. So, I mean, it's just in a lot of them. But the play is motion cross post. Now, what makes this play so good is its versatility. You can do so many things out of this play that make it a true number 1 money play of Madden 26. And it features what I would say is like the best route in the game, which is this running back slide route. There's so many things that we can do around this running back slide route that make this play just amazing. It's an amazing play. So I'm gonna give you a couple different setups in this. First one that I like to go over is we're going to in route the ISO receiver here, stem him up 3 times, so a little bit deeper, and then we're going to streak the slot like this. We're going to drag the tight end, and we're going to return route the outside bunch receiver. So it looks like this. What this will do is this basically, if they don't hard flat on the right-hand side here, this thing is just going to be money. A lot of times what you can do is you can cut to the inside. Now, if they don't drop their yellow zones back like that, where he kind of went to the running back, you can throw this here, but you can see how I can kind of like steer that just with a pass lead. You do not want to freeform this route, but you do want to pass lead this route. It just gets into a really, really nice spot of the field, and it allows this formation to flood really well. And then if they're kind of staying at home on that, you can hit that return route in that little spot. What that then does is that forces them to have to shade their coverage underneath. The same thing is true for the tight end route. Like if they're not hard flatting, we can just take what the defense gives us. Now, if they're playing us in, a man coverage type of situation, a couple different ways for them to play man coverage. It kind of depends on how they're playing it. But if they're not hard flatting on on really both sides, if they're not hard, so let's say for example, right, because what a lot of people do is they will hard flat on this side. So they'll do something like this. So hard flat this guy, they'll put this guy in man here, and then they might man this guy up on the running back, right? And then over here, it could be all kinds of different things. They might curl flat him to get him to go play a corner route. I mean, you could see all kinds of stuff. But basically, what I want to do, just for sake of illustration here, to show you how good this route is, I'm going to hook curl him. And what happens is this running back route just fries man coverage. I mean, it just actually fries man coverage. They actually swapped off there, And this running back route is just amazing. It's an amazing route against man coverage, which is why I think it's such a good play. And then also you have, if they want to run, any kind of man coverage on you, your tight end normally will just be money. This route causes a lot of man swapping in nickel sets, which is the number one way that people play defense right now. So you just have a lot of answers. And then, let's say they do run like a shaded down yellows or something like that, and they start to get really aggressive to try to stop some of this underneath stuff that we're doing. Then you're going to have your in route on the backside here. This isn't exactly the easiest play to switch stick, and you're going to have a lot of answers within this. So that's just one combination that we can do. Another combination that I think is really, really good out of this formation is to use a corner route on the outside bunch receiver, stem him down one. Just like that. You're going to then use a slot fade on your slot receiver. If you want to, you could smart route him and then stem him down once or twice. So like that, you're going to have your tight end on a streak. And then this backside receiver, I like to put him on a return route. So it looks like this. What this is designed to do is just simply flood the bunch side really, really well, because that slide route is so good. You'll see that if they back up, you could just throw that slide route and get, super, super good yardage underneath. The other thing I would say about this is because we have the slot fade here, what will happen a lot of times against cover 4 is that slot fade just clears out the quarter. And so you can throw this right in a nice little soft spot of that quarter. If they switch stick to that side, then you're going to be able to throw your slot fade over the top of that. Just that's the main purpose of having those routes there. And then if they run like a cover 2, you're going to be in great position, because not only is your corner route going to get open, but your running back slide route, which right there I made the mistake of free-forming it, your running back slide route is going to get over the top, or not over the top, but it's going to get open for a lot of yards against cover 2 drop or cover 2 soft squat. See how they just kind of like leave this open? You make one defender miss, and this thing could be, you just get so many yards from it. And what's nice about it is it's very relatively straightforward. It's not a very crazy route, but it just gives you such an advantage because you can flood the sideline a lot better right there. I did not wait on my corner route. Let me actually make sure we wait on it this time. I'll tell you what, these Commanders receivers, I don't know if it's just because they're so chiseled or what, but they just are running into everybody. But here we go. We'll show it to you one more time. We'll see if we can actually get him to run the route properly. And you see he clears the cloud flat defender over there on the right side. So what they basically have to do is they have to hard flat that. And then when they hard flat that, that leaves a ton of different things for us to be able to attack. Another combination that I like out of something like this, kind of going to look a little weird, but it's a return route on the outside bunch receiver, a slot fade on the slot receiver, and then a corner route to the tight end like this. And then on the back end of this, you could either leave this crosser or you can put him on a stemmed up in route. I really like the stemmed up in routes like that. But essentially what you'll see here is look where this tight end kind of gets to on the field. You see he actually gets into a really nice area of the field against cover 4 curl flats, cover 4 hard flats. And it just, it's one of those things that I think is really good. Another combo that we have to show you here as well. If they're ever cover 2 in this left side, which a lot of people like to do because you kind of have to with the fact that we have spacing switch and things like that, we're just going to streak the solo receiver here. We're going to drag the tight end, and then we're going to post the slot receiver. So it looks just like this right here. A couple different variations of this that you can run. There's so many different ways to use this play. But what I think makes this play so good is if they're running cover 2 coverage on you, right, this thing is a home run ball, and it's just going to be there for you. You could also crosser the slot receiver as well. What's also really nice about it, though, again, is if you get man coverage, right? If you get man coverage, you're just going to be in such a good position. Let me just go over 2 men under. This is like one of my favorite ways to attack 2 men under in this game. Be something like this. And what's going to happen is that running back route is just going to get, you see how he freezes him? He gets this nice rack animation, and he's able to just basically out leverage the main coverage defender to the sideline. I think that this is such a good play. There's so many ways to run this play as well, which is another reason why I think it's so good. Like, for example, another way that I like to run this play looks a little off, but it's actually a really, really good setup, and that would be to slot fade it would basically be slot fading this slot receiver, and then you're just going to put the tight end on a basic in route. So you have kind of a shallow cross type feel. What I would do is if you want to put a regular cross route there, you can. But what I think makes this really good, this is one of my go-to plays against cover 4 drop. And the reason why is because you get really good clear out routes from both of these players. And then you'll see that this crosser route, the curl flat defender will guard it. but the crosser route is really good against man. And then the other thing about that crosser route is you'll see that with the slot fade, watch the curl flat defender get pretty pulled pretty far back. You could just pass it this up, take your easy check down for 7 to 10 yards, and then if they do shade down in a cover 4, then you're going to have this crossing route wide open over the top of it. And then you have the cheap motion there, really more as a decoy and clear out than anything else, but never, not bad to every now and then do something like that, as it's a very good way to play. Another way that I like to run this play is I really, really like kind of almost like a dagger type setup. So what it's going to look like is we're going to drag our tight end, we're going to crosser our slot receiver, we're going to slot fade basically slot fade or streak, either way. And then you can do one of two things. You can either put a return route right here to the right side, or you can put a stemmed up curl. Either one. Both are really good. I love the stemmed up curl just because some of our other plays, right, they're going to be shading down their yellows, shading those hook zones down to 5. And so this just becomes a money route to be able to hit over the top of that. And then if they switch stick to that side, then what you're able to do here is you're able to attack with your crosser. You'll see here, like this crosser just gets in a really nice area of the field over the top of that defender. And then the other thing about this is, let's say it's like a long yardage situation. They play cover 2 because they're trying to stop, some of the things that you could do, right? All you have to do here, just pass this up. Again, you break one tackle, which I did not right there, but you break one tackle, and this thing is going to be really, really good. So again, you just have a lot of answers in this play, and I think that's what makes it so darn good. There's so many different variations as well of different strategies and how you can run this play to its maximum potential. But ultimately, I just think that this is one of the best plays. I think it's the best play in all of Madden 26. These are the best plays in Madden, but if you truly want to win more games, you're going to need more than just a play. You're going to need an entire scheme. And so if you're looking to take your Madden or college football game to the next level, join our school community today where I teach you my full offensive and defensive schemes that you can use to win more games. The link is in the description below.